above the average. Here with me now is former D.C. police detective, defense attorney, and Fox News contributor Ted Williams. Ted, 64 cops killed last year. It's a horrifying number. And the president talks about retraining cops not to use deadly force. Do you understand that?
No. Hell no. The fact about it is, David, cops are trained and they're retrained throughout their career. But you're not trained for some of the things that happen on the street. You have to use instinct when you're on the street, David. And there are 331 shot last year, and 64 of them did not come home to their families. And if you really want to know, maybe the public needs retraining, because there was a time in our life where police officers were considered officer friendly and they were respected.
That's right.
And now you have police officers being disrespected on the streets of this country. And that's sort of sad commentary.
And, you know, they're doing such an effort to avoid shooting people in a fight where you can't tell who's innocent, who's guilty, or that sort of thing. I mean, they're doing a much better job at that, and yet that's all. The president couldn't say one word about this extraordinary number of fatalities. I mean, it just seems so insulting to the men and women in blue.
Well, I wish he would have spoken up about the men and women in blue, because those are the men and women who get up and put that uniform on. And when you are having trouble in your life or you're having some crime committed, you go and you call on these police officers. You don't call on Ghostbuster. So the bottom line is we need police officers out here, no doubt about it.
And he also shows, I mean, in so many things, he doesn't seem to have a clear idea of what it is he's talking. He makes this statement, which I kind of wondered what he was talking about. He said, if you need to use your weapon, you don't have to do that. Now, I assume, and I just have to assume because he's not very clear about what he means, that if you have to fire a shot, you don't have to kill somebody. You can shoot him in the knee or something. He's mentioned that before. Is that realistic in something that's happening in split seconds?
It is unrealistic. Police officers are taught to shoot center mass, and that is what they do, and they shoot toward the chest area. Look, the bottom line is a police officer who hesitates is a police officer that perhaps is not going to come home to his family. A police officer has to make split-second decisions, and you can't get around this retraining. Retraining is BS as far as I'm concerned.
Why do you say that?
Because police officers want to go home to their families. They're out there trying to do a job. Just recently in Washington, D.C., where a criminal, a guy with a criminal record, riding down a sidewalk, police officer chases after him. The guy rides into an alley, and as he's coming out of the alley, he's hit by a car. And guess who gets charged and found guilty of second-degree murder? The police officer. A police officer cannot hesitate if he wants to survive in this kind of work.
You know, too many laws dealing with crime in America today are focused on protecting dangerous criminals, not on the innocent. They've got it completely backwards about where our focus has to be. And before we go, you mentioned D.C. They just have this new criminal code that they've come out with. It's D.C.'s new attorney general. His name is Brian Schwab. I don't know whether he's one of George Soros's people, but here's what he says. The idea that increasing punishment and sanction is going to make us safer is something that I'm not sure the data or our history confirms. I think it's exactly what we've been seeing. It's crystal clear that that is what the statistics confirm, no?
You're absolutely right. We need to get our heads out of the sand. Yes, there can be a reformation in the system, but that reformation should go to the law-abiding citizens. That reformation should not go to putting crooks and criminals back on the street, giving them less of a sentence. Those are the kind of things that creates a problem. Social process, David, creates deviant behavior. And that's the unfortunate thing of what we're seeing here in the streets of America.
Absolutely. By the way, we should mention both the Washington Post and the mayor of Washington, D.C. are against what this new attorney general is proposing. But I assume it's now the new criminal code of our nation's capital. And it's, from my perspective, it's only going to lead to more problems, not less. But we'll see what happens. Ted Williams, God bless you and the work that you've done for the country. Thank you for coming in again. Good to see you.